First of all, I just want to say thank you very much for this opportunity. I'm sure you guys hear the same thing from every fan, but it's kind of one of those things where you grow up listening to you guys, and then kind of amongst all your friends, you kind of tell them that you're getting to go meet the band, and it's one of those things where it's just like, this is so cool. So cool. I'm really, grateful to be here with you guys.
Like we're not, we look pretty weathered.
I look good. You look like, I don't know, not so good.
I'm working on it. I will be tip top tonight though for you.
That's awesome. It's good to hear. We're all excited. I guess I just have a few questions for you guys. So if you'd like to answer them. First of all, you guys just released, your new album, which...
You're not using cards or anything? You're just going...
I mean, I do have it, but I'm going to try and
cool.
just speak, so it doesn't look like it's recited or anything. But the new album, I mean, how did you guys get the title? The title Neighborhoods? Was there a background to it, or was it just kind of...
the title. I think when he first started talking about it, he's thinking more suburban, middle-class America. But I think that... when he and I started talking about it, I was like, but neighborhoods mean something different to everybody, and we kind of liked that idea that what you think is a neighborhood, or I think is a neighborhood, or anybody anywhere in the world is completely different from one another. And in the course of getting our band back together, one thing that we really discovered was that we are very, very different people. And I think before we were trying to get each other to become one another, but we're very different. And now I think that we more rely on that difference and kind of celebrate that difference in the way that different neighborhoods make up cities and different, like that kind of thing. So each of us is a neighborhood unto ourselves.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I mean,
we should have put a liner note in there that explained that's what it meant, because it means so much more when people hear that. They're like, oh, that's really cool.
Than just a neighborhood.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, the title's okay now.
Okay, now we'll let you get away with that.
But the other one was going to be Hard at Work.
Hard at Work. That's cool.
And that's a good title too, if you really think about it.
But wasn't what's the new all-time low? Working Hard?
Oh, is it?
What's their thing?
And I mean, I know the CD took a while for you guys to finally get out. It kind of... Was there ever a time, I mean, I'm sure there was, where you guys just kind of thought, it's not going to get done on the time we want.
Always.
There's time.
Yeah. Ever since we first started?
It was good, though. I think, I always tell people, like, for a lot of bands that break up and get back together, I mean, they definitely don't usually get back together, and if they do, they don't really always make a record. And I think one of the things that really that worked for us is there was no pressure. We took our time, and we all there's no pressure to show up at a certain time or to get in the studio and like make sure you got certain things done on certain days. Like, we all just we did it at our own pace, and it took a bit longer, but we got it done, and we had a lot of fun doing it, and got to know each other a lot better in the process, I think, like Mark said, because the differences in the band aren't they're not expansive anymore, and the process that we adopted in making the record, we really embraced each other's methods of recording. So it took a little bit longer, but it was super smooth, and that's why it came out good, I think.
All came together, and it's really good. I personally really like it.
Dirty work.
Dirty work. Okay. Off of the album, or I guess just in general, do each of you have a favorite Blink-182 song, and maybe why? Or not even a favorite, just one that has a lot of meaning to you?
Mine changes by the day. I think anybody's favorite song from any band changes by the day. Today I'm really proud of a song called MH418 2011, which started, the idea from that came, I was driving home from the studio and a helicopter flew over and cast a shadow in front of my car, and I was like, wow, you never really see shadows of helicopters. And then I started thinking some more. I'm like, actually, there's places in the world where people live with circling helicopters all the time, be it like, downtown LA with police helicopters, or war-torn countries, or people that, live under some kind of oppression or fear. And so I kind of wrote the song about people living in fear and oppression. And it's a pretty bleak song. It says, hold on, the worst is yet to come. But I like that song.
Do you by chance have one too?
Yeah, I like being a part of writing music where they're all very diverse. So that way you can kind of get your point across with something that has more angst in it, something that has more heartbreak in it, something that has more of an experimental nature in it. So when people kind of go, well, what's your favorite song? It makes it really difficult. But what I do really love about Up All Night is that it was the first song we worked on as a band when we got back together. It was something that featured Mark and I both together. It was something that was not just getting your feet wet, but jumping into the waters of progress, making it much more. It's kind of like when we put it out, it wasn't so much, hey, you know, this is the same Blink that you can always rely on. It was almost like come along with us for a ride, you know, and it was polarizing too. I think there were a lot of people that were like, oh my God, it's so heavy and dark or whatever, but the more you listen to it, you really hear the melodic nature of it. But then there's all these people who go, oh my God, it caught me off guard. It's awesome. It's like they're still pushing the limits of what they want to do, and so when we play it, I think of all those things. So I really like that song a lot.
That's cool. I mean, I personally like it when you guys, like you said, you guys both have parts where you sing, you know, kind of equal amount in the songs. I personally think that sounds really cool.
Cool. Thanks.
I guess the next one would be, you guys have been together for so long. Is there something that you kind of hope that everyone will remember, or how do you guys most want to be remembered, you know, later on, or even just now? How do you guys want people to look, you know, at you or be remembered as Blink-182?
I don't want to be remembered as one thing. I don't. Ideally, if I could choose how we're remembered after our band is gone or whatever, I don't know. I think that I like that there's different parts of our band that people like. I like that there's some people who love Carousel and Damn It and the early stuff, and I like that there's some people that are just now getting into Blink with Up All Night and After Midnight, and it's like a multi-generational thing at this point. There's, you know, fans that have been coming to the show since day one. There's new people that are coming to their first Blink show, and I don't know. I like that there's a variety of what we've done rather than, you know, 7 albums of exactly the same material. I feel like we've grown in some way with each record.
Okay, that's cool. And all right, you guys have been on tour. You know, I've had tours for countless years. Do you guys have any experiences that you just looked at that you could say was the craziest thing you've ever seen, or, you know, even a crazy fan, or just something that really you'll never forget?
Oh, yeah, Man Cub was a good one lately. There's a little boy that I thought looked like he was from the Jungle Book.
There was this dude that was crowd surfing the other day, and he looked like Mowgli from the Jungle Book. And Tom just started pointing at him and screaming, "Man Cub!"
And he didn't know what we were talking about.
No,
everyone
didn't.
around him pointed at him, picked him back up, and put him in there. He's like, "What am I up here?" But it's not the craziest thing. But something always fun happened. I mean,
One of the weirdest things, we played a show in Minneapolis one time, and it was in a baseball field, and we were playing in the outfield, and all the people were in the infield, and so like they were running around while we were playing. There was all this dust getting kicked up and everything, and from the back of the crowd getting passed up is just a dude's prosthetic leg.
Or there's a guy that got passed up in a wheelchair in New Zealand.
Oh yeah.
They literally picked him up, and he's like, they took him all the way to the stage and delivered him to us.
Yeah.
That would definitely be something to remember. That's cool.
Yeah.
And there's other things that we just can't say in front of people.
Okay.
I had a sound guy. So I'll tell Mark after this.
Okay.
I went to him. It's disgusting.
Do you guys have anything that you would say would be the single most challenging thing of your career, or I guess challenges?
Well, I mean, I think it's always challenging to. I think the biggest challenge for us was just the initial steps we took when we got back together as a band. You know, to really, you know, the maturity and the being an adult about everything, and everyone, the humility that had to be involved for everybody to get through what we all had to get through. And that's on the biggest. I mean, but that doesn't even compare to what Travis had to go through with his tragedy. So it's kind of like, when you look at our career now, this institution has had these insane ups and downs, you know? So I think the most challenging thing has never been the art, and it's never been the chemistry. It's just been the years have all had their periods of growth, and in that growth there's sadness and there's happiness, you know? But that's life, right? And I think the band of itself is almost like an organism that's had its own life. And
Think about the people that you went to high school with and were friends with, and then you went to college and had different or new friends there, and then you got out of college and you started working and you had different or new friends there, and how many of those people come and go throughout your life, and think that the three of us have been hanging out for 20 years solid, and to have 20 years of friendship, life change, you know, going from three guys hanging out in a van, sleeping on people's floors, to each of us getting married, having kids, having mortgages, projects outside of Blink, everything else that's gone along, and think how crazy it is to still be with the same people after all those changes in 20 years. I mean, I don't think that anybody is in daily working routine with the people that they went to high school with.
I definitely agree. I mean, I think from high school I have like 2 friends
Yeah.
from high school, so I mean...
But the glue is probably the dick jokes, because we still really like them, and Travis will laugh at them every so often.
He won't make them, but he laughs.
Yes. He will not make them.
He will not make them, but he will laugh at us
Go along
making
with
them.
it. It's cool. I mean, do you guys have anything else that you really hope to, I guess, to accomplish other than the things you guys already have? Is there anything that you're looking forward to accomplishing, or?
I want to keep growing. I think that all of us as a band, especially with this record, it was so important to us because when Blink split up, we were kind of at the top of our game back then, and it was really important for us to come back and do something good, whatever that meant, something good that we were proud of, because it would suck to come back after 5 years and do something that was less than anything that we had done before. So I guess the next step is to just keep growing in that direction and keep trying to do good work and stay relevant and have fun doing it.
For sure. I mean, it's not really a question that I have on here. I hope it's okay. Do you guys, thoroughly enjoy everything that you do? I mean,
yes.
Is this like something you love?
So much so that every night there's at least one song, and it's usually towards the second half where the alcohol is kicking in for both of us, and the jokes get to a certain place that I don't actually sing certain verses or choruses because I'm laughing. Happened last night at Josie, because we both came in with the word penis at the same time.
No.
You said penises.
I said penis early in the set during, it was in the break-in Always, and in the break-in Josie I said two penises.
Is that that's yeah. All I know is I go penis, and I hear penises. Or something. I heard the plural version of it, and it just made me laugh, but it was so stupid. But you know what, though? It takes just that much to make us feel good. So
the only reason that any of us have ever done Blink is because it was fun. We started Blink because it was fun to us. We kept at Blink because it was fun to us. When Blink wasn't a good time, we broke the band apart, and now that it's back together, I think we're all having a good time again. And we're very fortunate that we get to do this out of love of music and touring. I mean, we're gone from our families for months at a time, and that's difficult, but we have so much fun that it's worth it.
I guess that's what I was kind of going to say was you guys look like you always have so much fun. And, there's a lot of bands that I don't really notice that personally when I go and watch them as a fan, but I can really see it as you guys. At least it, comes off that way. You guys really have fun and try and
I have
make
fun
it
playing shows. On tour's a lot of downtime. It's a lot of boredom. It's a lot of trying to find something to do, travel, being gone from your family, different. Every day is completely different. 2 days ago we were freezing cold. Now it's like burning hot, fighting off sickness, everything else. But the hour and a half that we're on stage makes every second of it worth it all, for sure.
It's cool. And I guess, I kind of asked what the craziest thing was, memories. Do you guys have any, memories, something, other than being crazy or funny, is there something else that, you'd like to share? Maybe with something that is meaningful just to you? I mean, I don't know if that's, too personal.
There's been so many of those. It's like, the first time that we sold out a club in San Diego that we went and saw bands play all the time. The first time that we headlined Madison Square Garden. The first time that we played overseas.
First arena we ever played, ever. And my mom comes running in. We're sweaty. We just sold out our first arena in San Diego. And I mean, we're like on this high. Like you feel like you're like just king of the world, right? My mom runs in and she goes, I'm like, Mom, I'm like sweaty. And she goes, I go, did you like the show? And she looks at me. She's like, I have never heard somebody with such a foul mouth in my entire life. And that to me was a really beautiful memory.